Okay, we got an Army veteran, a gun instructor. He was killed by his student. Now, of course, this was all an accident. There was no mean to kill him on purpose. It was an accident. It was a tragedy, but unfortunately, it did happen. Now, you're probably wondering who was, the student. What happened? Why is this Army veteran dead? Well, the student was a 9-year-old girl, and the recoil from the gun she was shooting bounced, pretty much made her bounce and hit him in the head. So we got a 9-year-old girl who was learning how to shoot a gun. She had a full auto Uzi. She shot it for target practice, so she's shooting at the shooting range. The recoil was way too much for her, and so she ended up shooting everywhere. That meant it hit him right in the head. Now, the bigger question is, why are we having 9-year-old girls learn how to shoot a gun? I'm all for defense, okay? Because there are some people out there you really want to be careful of. Doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter, okay? Any neighborhood, any person that you can know, they might just go insane one day. Who knows what could happen? This world is unpredictable. Just when you think you know something, another thing happens. This world is really unpredictable. And so, that's why we need to defend ourselves. Sometimes, I'm not saying we need to defend ourselves, but it's very good for once a situation like that occurs. Now, I would say you would need to learn how to defend yourself in a fist fight, in any one of those situations. But at 9 years old, I think that's a bit too soon. I think it's way too soon for that. I would say at least 15 or 16. I mean, a 9-year-old girl holding a rifle, a gun, a pistol, a sidearm, anything of the sort. I'm pretty sure you can tell how heavy those things can be for a 9-year-old girl. It was too much because she couldn't hold it. She needs to have been a little bit more stronger. So I would say at least 15 or 16 when she would be capable of holding the Uzi or a shotgun or anything. Okay, I'm all for teaching people's kids how to defend themselves. But at 9 years old, I think it's way too soon. I mean, what can a 9-year-old girl get herself into? Now, I know there's a bunch of answers to that question. They're unfortunate to happen, but there's a lot of answers to that question. Now, will it happen to everybody? No. Will it happen to some few? Unfortunately, yes. And that's how this ends up being. It's very messed up. Now, it's just, why? It's way too soon for that. If you want to learn how to defend yourself at a bit of an older age. I would say maybe when you're around 8th grade, right before you enter high school, because high school, depending on how it is, it could be a good or a bad experience. I want to know about that. My high school years were, well, nothing bad happened, but thankfully. Anyways, you got to make sure that these things don't happen. If you want to defend themselves, if you want them to defend themselves, that's perfectly fine. But do it when they're absolutely ready, especially for something like a gun. You do not want them holding a gun so that way it can just backfire on you because the recoil is too strong for them and it ends up hurting an innocent person. That's what happened to him. He ended up getting shot right in the head because the recoil was too strong. Okay? We shouldn't be teaching kids how to defend themselves with a gun, okay? A gun, I would say defend yourself with a gun. I would say learn how to use a gun when you're legal, okay? When you can go buy yourself a weapon, then at that point you can go ahead and defend yourself. Don't teach them at 9. You can defend them how to fist fight from that stuff around 15 or 16. That's perfectly fine. But I would say when you're legal, go ahead and purchase a firearm and defend yourself with it. Other than that, just try to keep yourself safe out there. Lates.